Vancouver is one of the most beautiful places in the world, but did you also know it's one of the spookiest? Hey guys, it's Joseph from BlackboxMyCar. Today we're going to be celebrating Halloween. We're going to be going on a road trip to some of the creepiest places in the city that many travel books have warned you about. And then we're going to check out 3 of the city's lesser known haunted spots, and we'll find out whether or not I wet my pants, if I haven't already done so. So let's go! On our spooky ghost hunting adventures, we're going to be rocking the VIOFO A1393 3-channel dash cam so we can record the front, the rear, myself, and hopefully some ghosts. So where we're at right now is called Gowler's Mew, which is a narrow, haunted alleyway in the heart of Gastown. Let's go ghost hunting. Around the back is a cobblestone courtyard where over 40 people were publicly executed in the mid-1800s. Ooh, that gave me the chills. Today it's a trendy area home to multiple upstart eateries, including L'Abattoir. So one of the ghosts that are here is a woman dressed in black, sometimes seen behind the restaurants, gliding along the cobblestone passageway from where the hangman's scaffold is. So we're standing here in front of Waterfront Station, which is one of the busiest places that you'll ever find in downtown Vancouver, but it's also one of the most haunted. Today, this heritage building is a busy hub that connects passengers between the city's various public transportation systems. This station has witnessed some very strange and eerie happenings. Perhaps the most bizarre is the headless figure of the unfortunate Briggsman outside the station. Tale has it, he was making repairs in the rail yard one rainy night when he slipped on the tracks and was decapitated by an oncoming train. Look for him on a dark, stormy evening, like tonight. Some have reported seeing him roaming the tracks, his lantern glowing in his hands. Others say they've seen him in different parts of Gastown. Does he think he's still on the job? Or even worse, is the poor man looking for his head? (601 Smythe Street, Orpheum Theatre). Built in 1927, today the Orpheum is the home of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. There's 3 resident ghosts, and the most well-known one is an acrobat who fell to his death while performing. Many people have reported seeing a man standing on stage after hours or capture a glimpse of a glowing ball of light. 918 Granville Street, Vogue Theatre. Opened in 1941, the theatre is now used as an event venue and has hosted events like Vancouver's Comedy Fest, Vancouver International Film Festival, and Vancouver International Jazz Festival. It's also one of the city's main rock venues and has hosted artists like Nelly Furtado and Elvis Costello. The Vogue Theatre is also home to the ghost of a dark-haired and stern-looking man. While no one knows who he was or how he got there, many believed he was someone who used to work at the theater because he's often encountered in areas that are restricted to staff only. There are also stories of empty chairs filling with misty forms, and distant laughter and applause have also been heard. So here we are at Stanley Park, home of the famous seawall and Vancouver Aquarium, and the ghost train. But did you know the park is actually one of Vancouver's most haunted locations? Now, before Stanley Park became Stanley Park, it was once the site of a Chinese burial grounds around the late 1800s. This exact location, the site of the current Vancouver Rowing Club. Many Chinese residents in the area would use the beach to bury their dead. These burials were short-lived, as Chinese customs dictated that the remains of the body should be exhumed, with the bones sent back to China for burial. But not all the bodies have been exhumed. It is said that up to 200 bodies are still buried along the shore today. When the perimeter road was built around Stanley Park in the late 1880s, the bodies were simply paved over. Something to think about next time you're taking a walk along the seawall.
Now, standing right behind me is one of the most haunted places in all of North America. The Squamish people call it the Island of Dead Men. Now today, the Dead Man's Island is home to HMCS Discovery Naval Reserve and is closed off to the public.
Here's a freaky fact. The dead were not buried, but instead placed inside wooden boxes propped up high in tree branches. When the early settlers came to Vancouver, they discovered these decomposed corpses and set them in the ground, along with the remains of smallpox victims who were sent to the Isle for quarantine. Many claim to have heard the sounds of a woman sobbing, as well as multiple loud clanging and ringing sounds.
So here we are on the road to UBC. UBC is the University of British Columbia, which is established in 1908. It's also one of the oldest and top universities in Canada. Of the many routes that takes you all the way into UBC, this one is perhaps the creepiest. We're on University Boulevard, which is a street that takes you all the way into the university. On rainy nights in October, sometimes a young woman could be seen hitchhiking on the side of the road on this street, specifically University Boulevard leading into UBC. When a driver comes by to pick her up, she would seem very distressed, climbs into the car and tells the driver exactly where she needs to go. Now, when the driver takes her back to her destination, she would disappear. Well, here we are at University Boulevard. We're gonna see if we could talk to the young lady. Let's go. Well, really creepy lighting. And let's go see if we can find her. Hello? Is anybody there? Maybe we could find her. Maybe it's not rainy enough. It is October. Hello? Hello?
Now we're at New Westminster. This is one of the oldest cities in Western Canada, so it's not really a surprise that this is also the home to a slew of ghost stories.
Here we are at Fraser Cemetery in New Westminster. Apparently it's said that if we drive through, there would be a woman in a white Victorian era dress just standing here pointing towards certain tombstones. And there's another legend that says there's visions of a boy sitting on a bench or playing on some certain structures, but then if we ever get close to them, that he would just disappear. Those all sound kind of creepy to me, but let's drive through Fraser Cemetery and see what we can find.
Now, this former Canadian Pacific Railway station, built in 1899, is the home of a neighborhood Irish pub and restaurant.
Some staff have reported that late at night, like right now, they've heard footsteps, sounds of footsteps throughout the restaurant. Especially late at night, you might even hear a woman yelling, "Help me!" in the restaurant itself.
Thanks for joining us on this spooky journey through Vancouver. Got a ghost story from your own town? Or even better, have you ever captured one on a dash cam? We'd love to hear about it. Maybe next time you go for a drive, you'll find a ghost. Happy Halloween, everyone!